I never expected a simple favor to upend my life like this. When my best friend Jake called me in a panic, begging me to let his younger brother crash at my place for the summer while he studied abroad, I said yes without a second thought. But as I opened the door to greet little Nathan, the scrawny kid I remembered from high school barbecues had transformed into a confident, striking young man whose smile hit me like a freight train. Nathan stepped inside my modest apartment in downtown Chicago, his duffel bag slung over one shoulder, wearing a faded band tee and jeans that hugged his athletic frame just right. At 21, he was fresh out of his junior year at college, majoring in environmental science, with sun-kissed skin from lifeguarding gigs and eyes that sparkled with a mix of mischief and maturity. Jake had warned me Nathan could be a handful, partying too hard, skipping classes, but the guy standing before me seemed worlds away from that description. "Thanks for this, man," Nathan said, shaking my hand firmly. "Jake said you're the only one he trusts not to let me burn the place down." I laughed it off, showing him to the guest room, but something in the way he looked at me lingered, a subtle curiosity that made my pulse quicken. As the days turned into weeks, our routine settled into an easy rhythm. I'd wake up early for my job as a graphic designer at a small firm, brewing coffee while Nathan scrolled through his phone at the kitchen table, debating climate policies or the latest indie bands. He was passionate, opinionated, and surprisingly insightful for his age. One evening, after a long day, I came home to find him cooking stir-fry, the aroma filling the air. "Figured I owed you," he said with a grin. We ate together, talking about everything from our shared love of hiking to the pressures of family expectations. Jake's family was conservative, old-school Midwesterners who valued tradition above all. Nathan confessed how stifled he felt growing up in their shadow, always the good son, while Jake rebelled openly. I shared my own stories, coming out in college, the fallout with my parents who still sent awkward holiday cards but avoided deeper conversations. It was the first time I'd opened up like that in years, and Nathan listened without judgment, his empathy drawing me in deeper. But cracks started to show in our budding friendship. Nathan began going out more, hitting up bars with college buddies who'd visit from out of town. I'd worry when he came home late, reeking of beer and laughter, collapsing on the couch with stories of wild nights. One time he stumbled in at 2 a.m., eyes glassy, and slumped next to me while I watched a late-night movie. "You're always so put together, Ethan," he slurred, using my name in a way that felt intimate. "How do you do it?" I shrugged, helping him to bed, but his hand lingered on my arm a beat too long. The next morning, hungover and apologetic, he avoided eye contact, mumbling about not wanting to be a burden. I brushed it off, but inside, a storm brewed, attraction mixed with guilt. Jake was like a brother to me. We'd been inseparable since freshman year of high school. Betraying that trust felt unimaginable. Tensions escalated during a weekend trip to Lake Michigan. Nathan suggested it as a way to clear our heads, and I agreed, packing the car with snacks and tents. The drive was filled with easy banter, but as we set up camp under the stars, the isolation amplified everything. We swam in the cool water, raced along the shore, and shared a bonfire where Nathan opened up about his sexuality. "I've known since I was 15, he admitted quietly, staring into the flames. "But telling Jake? Or my parents? They'd freak." My heart ached for him. I remembered that fear all too well. As the night wore on, our conversation turned personal, dreams, regrets, the loneliness of hiding parts of yourself. When he leaned in, his face inches from mine, I pulled back, citing the late hour. But sleep evaded me, torn between desire and loyalty. Back in the city, the air between us thickened. Nathan started lingering in the living room after dinner, our talks veering into flirtation. One night, after a heated debate about LGBTQ rights in conservative states, he challenged me. "You act like you've got it all figured out, but you're just as scared as I am." His words stung because they were true. I'd built walls after a bad breakup, focusing on work and friendships. But Nathan chipped away at them, his vulnerability mirroring my own. Yet, every time I felt the pull, Jake's voice echoed in my mind, his casual warnings about keeping an eye on Nathan, trusting me implicitly. The conflict gnawed at me, society's judgments on age gaps and familial ties amplifying my doubts. Was this just a summer fling, or something real? And at what cost? As July melted into August, small incidents piled up. Nathan's friends teased him about our domestic bliss, and he laughed it off. But I saw the hurt in his eyes when I didn't reciprocate. One afternoon, he confronted me in the kitchen. "What's going on, Ethan? One minute you're all in, the next you're distant." I hesitated, admitting my fears about Jake and the optics of it all. "You're his brother. This could ruin everything." Nathan's face fell, but he nodded, stepping back. That night, he stayed out late again, and I paced the apartment, regretting my words. When he returned, we talked until dawn, laying bare our emotions. In that vulnerability, a tentative connection formed, not rushed but honest. But the world outside loomed, full of prejudices and expectations that threatened to tear us apart. The turning point came during a family barbecue Jake's parents hosted via video call, since he was still abroad. Nathan and I joined from my laptop, the screen splitting between his mom's cheerful kitchen and our cluttered living room. Mrs. Thompson beamed, asking about Nathan's summer classes and my work. But when she probed about any girls in his life, Nathan tensed beside me. "Mom, not now," he muttered. She laughed it off, but the comment hung heavy, a reminder of the facade he maintained. After the call, Nathan stormed to his room, slamming the door. I knocked gently, finding him on the bed, head in hands. "They'll never accept me," he whispered. I sat beside him, offering comfort, our hands brushing in a moment of unspoken solidarity. It was then that the dam broke. We shared our first kiss, tentative and charged with years of repressed feelings. But guilt crashed over me immediately. This wasn't just about us. The next weeks were a whirlwind of stolen moments and mounting secrecy. We'd explore Chicago's hidden gems, picnics in Grant Park, late-night walks along the river, building a bond that felt both exhilarating and fragile. Nathan's laughter became my favorite sound, his ambition inspiring me to pursue freelance projects I'd shelved. Yet shadows lurked. Jake called sporadically, sharing stories of his adventures in Europe, always ending with, "Thanks for watching over Nathan, bro. You're a lifesaver." Each time, my stomach twisted. Society's gaze added fuel, whispers about age differences. I was 28, he 21. The taboo of dating a friend's sibling. At a pride event we attended anonymously, Nathan held my hand briefly, but I pulled away when I spotted acquaintances, fearing judgment. "Why can't we just be?" he asked later, hurt flashing in his eyes. I had no good answer, only excuses rooted in fear. Conflicts arose from unexpected quarters. Nathan's college ex, a guy named Tyler, showed up unannounced one weekend, claiming he was in town and wanted to catch up. Tyler was polished, pre-law, everything Nathan's parents would approve of, if they knew. He eyed me suspiciously, making snide remarks about my babysitting role. Over dinner at a local diner, tension boiled as Tyler reminisced about their past, subtly undermining our dynamic. Nathan shut him down, but the encounter left us raw. "He thinks you're using me," Nathan confessed afterward. "Like I'm some kid you can toy with." I reassured him, but doubts seeped in. Was I? The age gap, though small, amplified societal scrutiny, especially in LGBTQ circles where power dynamics were hotly debated. Online forums I'd scrolled through late at night echoed warnings. "Don't date your friend's family. It's a recipe for disaster." Midsummer brought a crisis when Nathan's parents planned a surprise visit. Panicking, we scrambled to normalize the apartment, hiding any trace of intimacy. But during their stay, the strain showed. At a family dinner, Mr. Thompson grilled Nathan about his future, dismissing his environmental passions as hobbies. When the conversation turned to me, they praised my responsibility in hosting him, unaware of the undercurrents. Nathan snapped at one point, defending his choices, and the room fell silent. Later, alone, he broke down. "I can't keep pretending," he said, tears streaming. I held him, whispering promises, but the reality hit. Our relationship thrived in isolation, but the world demanded confrontation. As the visit ended, relief mixed with dread. Nathan grew distant, questioning if we were worth the risk. "What if Jake finds out and hates us both?" he asked one night, staring at the ceiling. I admitted my own fears, losing my best friend, facing familial rejection. But in that honesty we recommitted, vowing to navigate it together. Yet external pressures mounted. A mutual friend, sensing something, pulled me aside at a party. "Be careful, Ethan. Nathan is young. Don't break his heart." Her words echoed societal biases against such pairings, fueling my insecurity. Nathan, meanwhile, faced online backlash when he posted subtly about pride, drawing trolls who questioned his authenticity. The drama intensified, our emotions a roller coaster of highs and lows. One evening, after a particularly grueling day, we argued fiercely. Nathan accused me of holding back, of treating him like a secret. "I'm not your little project," he yelled. I countered, defending my caution as protection. The fight ended in silence, both of us retreating to separate rooms. But by morning, apologies flowed, leading to deeper understanding. Our love was real, but the path forward was fraught with societal mines, homophobia, ageism, loyalty tests. As summer waned, the question loomed. Could we survive the inevitable reveal? August brought sweltering heat and escalating drama. Jake announced he'd cut his trip short, returning in 2 weeks for a family reunion. Panic set in, we couldn't hide forever. Nathan suggested coming clean via a call, but I hesitated, imagining Jake's betrayal. "He's your brother," I said, "but you're my everything now." The words slipped out, solidifying our commitment amid the chaos. We spent days strategizing, role-playing conversations, but reality intruded when Nathan's phone buzzed with texts from home, his parents pressuring him about internships, subtly hinting at settling down properly. The subtext was clear: no room for our truth in their world. A pivotal conflict erupted at a local LGBTQ support group Nathan dragged me to. Surrounded by stories of acceptance and struggle, I felt exposed. During sharing time, Nathan spoke vaguely about someone special. His eyes on me. Older member questioned the ethics of hidden relationships, sparking a debate on societal norms versus personal happiness. Post-meeting, arguments flared among attendees, some defending age gaps as irrelevant, others decrying them as predatory. Nathan defended us passionately, but I stayed silent, shame burning. On the way home, he exploded. "You let them talk like that, like we're wrong." I admitted my cowardice, rooted in past rejections. The fight peeled back layers, revealing how societal prejudices had internalized in me, making me question our validity. Reconciliation came through small acts. Nathan planned a surprise date, a rooftop picnic with city views. Under the stars, we talked futures, him graduating, me advancing my career. "I want this with you," he said, vulnerability raw. I echoed it, but doubts lingered. The next day, disaster struck when Tyler reappeared, this time with proof. Screenshots of Nathan's social media hinting at our romance. He confronted Nathan at a coffee shop, threatening to out us to Jake. "You're playing with fire," Tyler warned. Nathan stood firm, but the encounter shook him. That night, he confessed fears of losing his family, of being labeled the troubled gay kid. I held him, promising support, but the incident amplified the stakes. Privacy versus authenticity, love versus loyalty. As Jake's return neared, tensions peaked. We attended a protest against anti-LGBTQ legislation, hands linked in the crowd. Empowerment surged, but so did risks. Photos circulated online, and a family friend spotted us. Whispers reached Nathan's parents, who called demanding explanations. "What's this about you and Ethan?" his mom asked, voice laced with suspicion. Nathan deflected, but the seed was planted. Back home, we clashed again. I wanted to slow down, he pushed for transparency. "Hiding is killing me," he said. The argument escalated, words like daggers. Accusations of immaturity, fears of abandonment. In the heat, Nathan packed a bag, storming out to a friend's. Alone, I reflected on my choices. Had I enabled this mess by not setting boundaries? Hours later, he returned, apologies mutual. We spent the night talking, dissecting societal barriers. The double standards for gay relationships, the scrutiny on age dynamics, the betrayal of familial trust. It bonded us deeper, but the clock ticked. Jake's flight details arrived, forcing a decision. We opted for honesty, drafting a message together. But before sending, Nathan hesitated. What if it destroys everything? The question hung, mirroring global debates on love's boundaries. As we navigated this minefield, our emotions raw, the high drama of our summer romance reached fever pitch, teetering on revelation. With Jake's arrival imminent, the apartment buzzed with nervous energy. We cleaned obsessively, hiding mementos of our intimacy. Photos, notes, though it felt like erasing ourselves. Nathan paced, rehearsing speeches, while I buried myself in work to distract. One afternoon, he cornered me. We can't keep this up. Let's tell him together. I agreed, heart pounding. But fate intervened when Jake called early, excited about surprising us with an airport pickup. Panic ensued, we had hours to prepare. As we drove to O'Hare, silence reigned. Our hands clasped briefly in secret. Jake emerged from the terminal, tan and grinning, pulling us into hugs. You two look thick as thieves, he joked, oblivious. Back home, over beers, he regaled us with tales of European escapades. Nathan and I exchanged glances, the unspoken truth await. That night, as Jake crashed on the couch, Nathan slipped into my room, whispering fears. What if he disowns me? I reassured him, but sleep was fitful. The next day, at the family reunion in the suburbs, tensions simmered. Relatives milled about the backyard, barbecuing and chatting. Nathan's parents eyed us curiously, perhaps sensing shifts. During a group photo, Jake slung arms around us both. My two favorite guys. The irony stung. The breaking point came mid-afternoon. A cousin, scrolling social media, showed a photo from the protest. Nathan and me, hands linked. What's this? She asked innocently. The yard fell quiet. Jake frowned, grabbing the phone. Ethan? Nathan? What the hell? Shock rippled, parents gasping, relatives murmuring. Nathan stepped forward, voice steady. We're together, Jake. I love him. Chaos erupted. Jake's face reddened. You what? He's my best friend. How could you? Accusations flew, betrayal, manipulation. Mrs. Thompson cried. This isn't right. He's too old for you. Mr. Thompson stormed off, muttering about phases. Society's echoes amplified. Age gaps deemed predatory. Familial lines crossed as taboo. We retreated inside, Jake following, demanding explanations. How long? He barked. We confessed the summer's evolution, emphasizing consent and depth. But Jake felt blindsided. You were supposed to watch him, not this. Hurt laced his anger, losing trust in me, fearing for Nathan. The argument raged, touching on broader issues. LGBTQ acceptance in families, the ethics of secrecy. Nathan defended our love passionately. It's real, Jake. Don't make it ugly. I apologized for the deception, owning my role. Hours passed in heated debate, emotions swinging from rage to reluctant understanding. Jake admitted his own biases, shaped by upbringing, but the wound was fresh. As evening fell, the family dispersed, leaving us in strained silence. Jake stayed over, conversations tentative. Over the next days, bridges mended slowly. He grilled us on intentions, probing for red flags society warned about. Nathan shared his journey, humanizing our story. I vowed loyalty, promising to prove our sincerity. But external fallout loomed. Friends gossiping, online trolls amplifying the drama. One post labeled us creepy, sparking debates on consent and power. Nathan faced backlash at college, peers questioning his choices. Yet, through it, our bond strengthened, adversity forging resilience. By week's end, Jake softened. I don't get it fully, but if you're happy. It wasn't full acceptance, but a start. We navigated the aftermath, attending therapy, confronting prejudices. The experience highlighted societal conflicts, love's right to exist beyond norms, the cost of authenticity. As summer closed, our future uncertain but hopeful, the drama's peak left scars and growth. Fall approached, leaves turning as our lives shifted. Nathan returned to campus, 2 hours away, turning our relationship long distance. Weekends became lifelines, drives filled with anticipation, nights debating futures. But challenges persisted. Jake, back in his routine, alternated between support and distance. Family dinners were awkward, parents tiptoeing around the situation. Mrs. Thompson sent articles on healthy relationships, subtly questioning our dynamic. We laughed it off, but it stung, reflecting broader societal skepticism toward gay couples with any perceived imbalance. One weekend, Nathan arrived upset. Campus rumors had escalated, fueled by Tyler's spite. "They call me naive," he said, frustration boiling. We talked it through, affirming our equality. I surprised him with tickets to a concert, a reminder of joy amid strife. But deeper issues surfaced. My career demands clashed with his studies, highlighting age differences in priorities. Arguments arose over visits, commitments, echoing debates on whether such gaps doomed relationships. Friends weighed in, some supportive, others cautionary. Love conquers, but society doesn't make it easy. A major confrontation came at Thanksgiving. The family gathered, tensions palpable. Jake mediated, but when Mr. Thompson made a snide remark about lifestyles, Nathan exploded. "This is who I am, Dad. Accept it or not." The table erupted, tears, accusations. I defended Nathan, sharing my own rejections, urging empathy. Hours later, in private, Mr. Thompson admitted fears rooted in ignorance. It was a breakthrough, slow and painful, mirroring national dialogues on LGBTQ inclusion. Jake pulled me aside. "You better not hurt him, Ethan." His words, once threatening, now protective, a sign of evolving bonds. As winter set in, our story stabilized. Nathan thrived in classes, inspired by our resilience. I pursued promotions, drawing strength from him. We attended events together, facing stares but holding firm. Yet, controversies lingered. Media stories on similar couples sparked online wars, positioning us as unwitting examples. Nathan blogged anonymously, venting on ethics of love, garnering mixed responses. Through it all, we chose each other daily, navigating conflicts with grace. Reflecting on that summer, what began as a favor blossomed into profound change. Loyalties tested, prejudices challenged, emotions laid bare. Our journey underscored love's complexity in a judgmental world. But one question remains. In pursuing forbidden love, do the ends justify the means of secrecy and potential heartbreak?